cleared for takeoff.
Good evening. Welcome in to Indians Minor League Magazine. I'm Al Pulowski, joined today by the voice of the Lake County Captains, Craig Dees, in for Jason Stanford. Craig, good to see you.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me today.
All right, ready to talk about some minor leaguers?
Let's do it.
All right, let's take a look at what's coming up here on the show today. As always, we'll take you around the minors and show you what's happening at each level. We'll also check in on some of the top prospects, of course, playing in Lake County with Craig here. Later, you'll hear from hard-throwing Akron righty Joe Gardner. We'll have this week's Diamond in the Rough and our Minor League Player of the Week. And first up, we'll make a stop in AAA Columbus and check in with the Clippers. We're having a great season, and Cord Phelps has been unbelievable this year, really hitting the ball well from day one. Right now, though, he's on a 13-game hitting streak, hitting .367 with 5 doubles, 2 homers, and 16 runs batted in.
And a guy that made a position change, too, and a lot of times that affects you at the plate because you're so worried about defense, but not him.
No, Cord Phelps has really gotten it done. And playing some shortstop, not looking too bad there, Craig, as you said. Maybe grooming him as a utility player or maybe as a shortstop. We'll see at the major league level. A couple of the guys to watch. Zach McAllister has been unreal, and a guy that you saw pitch a couple of years ago, Craig, Nick Hagedorn, now a reliever with AAA Columbus.
Yeah, he's making his way up, and we'll see how, Nick's right on the edge of getting to the big leagues. And you go back to Zach McAllister, there's a kid that we got for Austin Kearns, only 23 years old.
Yeah.
So he's another good-looking prospect at AAA right now.
He sure is. We've been talking a lot about Zach, and of course we hope he continues his hot streak. Let's go to AA Akron, where the Arrows are performing very well in this past month now after getting off to a slow start. And having a fantastic month is C.C. Lee, the reliever from Taiwan, is 1-0, an ERA under 2 in his last 10 games. And during his last 18 and a third innings, he struck out 31 and walked only 2. Great control for Lee.
Yeah, it's very well. And a lot of people thought this might be a make-or-break season for C.C. Lee. Well, guess what? He's making it right now, and he's on the radar again. He
sure is doing a fine job for the Arrows, and he might be up in Columbus before the season is over. Let's check in with some more players to take a look at. Matt Lawson, an infielder to watch, and Chun Chen, another guy, Craig, from Lake County that a couple of years ago was very impressive with the stick and not doing too badly behind the plate this year either for Akron.
Yeah, and he was an afterthought for us last year. Roberto Perez was the #1 catcher in Lake County. Chen got himself an all-star berth and then ended up getting promoted up to Kidston last year. So here's another guy who took advantage of the situation, and now he's moving up the ladder.
That's good to see as prospects keep moving up all the time. Let's go down to Single A now. We'll stop at Kidston first of all, where last week's Diamond in the Rough, Casey Frawley, saw a 7-game hitting streak end on Friday. But during that streak, he batted .296 with 3 homers, 11 runs batted in, 8 runs scored. The K-Tribe has moved into second place now in their division. They've won 11 of their last 13 games.
And you look at Casey Frawley, here's a guy that's only hitting .225, but the bottom line is he leads a team in RBIs with 29, so he's going to get the big hits for you.
And we'll take a look at some other K-Tribers to watch. Justin Toole, second baseman who can play some other places, got some nice numbers there. And Giovanni Soto, that's the left-hander the Indians got for Johnny Peralta last year. And Craig, when we first got him, he was in Lake County, and here's a lanky left-hander with some pretty good arm action.
Yeah, and he's only 20 years old, and he's had to do a couple of different things. Obviously, come from another country to play here in the States with the Indians, but he's also switched franchises when he was with Detroit and out of Cleveland. So he's adapting very, very well, and he's really going to be something down the road, I think. And you look at Justin Toole, kid out of Iowa, just a very versatile player, really fits into what the Indians like in that way of versatility.
All right, so some good guys to watch at Kidston as well. We'll stay at Class A now and go to Craig Dees' place. That's Eastlake, and check in with the Lake County Captains, who once again have a host of guys to keep an eye on. And Mike Goodnight has had several good nights this season. Pardon the pun there. Now, they're already maybe only 3-3 this year, but he has an ERA at .260. He struck out 48 in 52 innings, walking 16. You've gotten to see this guy play all season long. Craig, tell us, is he the real deal?
And we've never used a good night reference like that the entire season. But in his last 3 starts, he's pitched 19 innings, he's given up 3 runs, and he's struck out 18. It's just one of those guys that you get him on the mound and you expect him to win every night. It doesn't go his way sometimes because of the offense, but he's been terrific.
We've been talking about you got to move him to closer with a name like Goodnight.
Yeah, exactly. Good night now.
Exactly. All right, here's the couple other players to watch, too. J.D. Reichenbach, a reliever, and Argenis Martinez. Take it away, Craig.
Well, J.D. Reichenbach's a guy that he's pitched 13 games for us, and only 3 of those games has he allowed more than 1 run. So he's a guy that's pretty reliable. Yeah, he has his moments, and like every pitcher does, but for the most part, he's been very good. And Argeni Martinez is really slick fielding guy. He's got 18 RBIs already this season, but when you look at last year, the entire year in 100 games, he had 23 RBIs. So Argeni's batting average, not where you'd like it to be, but he's going to get you a big hit. He's going to move the runners. He's going to do the little things, and more importantly, he is a vacuum at second base.
All right, good stuff from Craig Dees, and we're going to learn more about Lake County since Craig is here. Coming up right after the break, we'll talk about a lot of these players. Make sure to stay tuned. Also, our Diamond in the Rough is coming up, so make sure that you keep it right here as we get a closer look at the boys playing at Classic Park. Coming up next on Indians Minor League Magazine.
Beautiful. 26, 36 feet per second up.